Alright, so Guilty Gear Strive is coming April 9th. And as somebody who's even been playing like 2 or 3 years maybe of just nothing but fighting games, like I'm hype as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all, like I'm hella hype. But I do have a few concerns with this game. A lot of people do. I see it on YouTube all the time. A lot of people tend to talk about, the lobbies and the netcode and all that stuff, which actually is some of my concerns too. But my biggest one is this game's lifespan. That's what I'm really concerned about. We've all been hit with the struggles of, coronavirus, shutting shit down, and just we got to be locked in the house and we can't go out, and that erases the offline play. Now, granted, online is we're just gonna have to deal with that. Like that, online is just something I feel like we're just gonna have to compromise with it and work with that until we can go back to going to offline tournaments and all that stuff like that. However, because of the fact that offline is not an option anymore, I'm really worried that Guilty Gear might not last long, and I don't want to say that, you know what I'm saying, because this game looks sick, and this would be my first Guilty Gear game. This will also be the game that I'm gonna take serious, because I'm trying to make some noise in the FGC, you know what I'm saying? So we could just build a community, you feel me, and just get a whole bunch of people, and we're all playing Strive. We're keeping this game up, keeping this game hype, doing, I guess, online tournaments. Maybe I'll make some content on online tournaments, we can do that as well. But I'm just really trying to make some noise in this FGC and try to keep this game alive, because I feel like with the whole coronavirus thing and, offline just not being an option anymore right now, that's going to hurt it. Believe it or not, that's going to hurt it. The same thing that happened to Grand Blue, that same thing happened to Grand Blue. But with Strive, I believe there's a little bit more hope because of rollback netcode. Now, that's not to say that just because the game has rollback doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain way you have to implement it to where it works. Like Plus R's rollback is great, and they said it was going to be something like Plus R but not exactly like it. So I'm curious to see how they're going to go about doing that, and if for whatever reason they decide to make it into something totally different, then I don't know. But I say all of this to say I just don't want Guilty Gear to die, because over these last couple months I've actually grown more and more attracted to this game and more interested, and I want more. I want to see new characters, I want to see new system mechanics compared to other games. And with this being my first Guilty Gear game, but having seen a bunch of gameplay and tournament footage of the other Guilty Gear games, this game, Guilty Gear, looks sick. This is sick. And I feel like as a community we have to make sure that, hey, coronavirus is messing a lot of stuff up, but we need to try to keep this game alive as much as possible, because I do not want this game to die. Like, hopefully we can have the same effect as like Fighters had. Dragon Ball Fighters is still kicking today, still has a bunch of people playing it, still streaming every day, and this is like 3 years now. I started off with Fighters. Fighters was like my first introduction to like the 2D games, or 2D fighting games. So after Fighters, I just fell in love with FGC, you know what I mean? And I get to see the other games and the other tournaments, and just for not just Fighters, but for different fighting games, and Guilty Gear, and how hyped they are with offline play and tournaments, and how good players are. It's just a really interesting thing to see, and I want to be a part of that, you know what I mean? And I would hate for Guilty Gear to have that same fate as Grand Blue, and I'm kind of scared, you know what I mean? I don't want that to happen. So hopefully with this new rollback that they're implementing, net play won't be bad, so we're not as limited with rollback. So we should be able to play with people that are further away from us, which can ultimately kind of save it. That could be like one of its saving graces, you know what I mean? Definitely the jukebox mode was pretty sick. Having the older game music was pretty sick. I saw the game modes trailer. It was nice. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. All we can do is wait and hope. Hopefully this beta drops soon, because I really don't want it to drop like a week before the game actually releases. Like, that would be stupid to me. So hopefully we get some more news on that. If we do, I'll cover that as well. But yeah, that's really it. I just wanted to come out here. This is my first YouTube video, so I mean, we just learning as we go. Like, I don't really know too much yet. So, you know, we're gonna be working on our game, but as soon as this game drops, we're gonna be in there. We're gonna be making content. We're gonna be getting better. Hopefully we can get better together, and hopefully, you know, we can make some noise in this community. So with all that being said, this is Sin, and I'm out of here.